Because I'm a painter, I come at collage really about, it's really about color. A lot of emphasis on color. So I'm just a real stickler for having people make up some kind of a palette, because I think then you really have, the work opens up into a real individual touch of your own choosing. This was a bracelet I bought this winter because I was inspired by the colors. And you're going to think, well, you know, in a collage class, why are we doing like painting? Because I get you to make a lot of paper. Not make the paper, but paint the paper. Big philosophy of mine in making collage is to make stuff from scratch. So that we will be using magazines a lot, but we are going to find our own sensibility. If you paint all these separate pieces of paper with all these different colors, and then you start messing around and mixing them all up, it's all part of your palette. So it's exactly what painters do on a canvas. So in your collages, you're going to have some very precise colors that you've mixed, and then you're going to have these combinations. Then we're going to glaze stuff while we're making collages. So it's just, you're going to have, your palette's going to be, it's going to have a lot of complexity to it. Collage really thrives on lots of variety, lots of different kinds of marks, paint, paper, layering.
I've always been attracted to collage, and when I first started doing it, I didn't have a clue as how to do it, but I was always attracted to the medium. I think what's extraordinary about what Alexandra does is she creates her own paper, and that makes the work so unique. And the paper I use is my own creation, and it's an incredible thrill when you look at the detail and say, wow, that's not from a magazine, and that's really very much of who she is. She creates so much of her own materials that, yes, there are certain things that come from mass-produced, but there's so much that you yourself have an opportunity to make yourself. It's a very comfortable environment, but she's also incredibly knowledgeable, and she's a wonderful artist herself. So you are inspired by what you see her doing. She's just great. She's a great teacher.
You're actually starting to make a wall collage in here. It starts to happen on the wall. You get the materials going, and then they start interacting with each other, and you almost, by the end of today, you're almost going to be following the work. You have to get it going. You have to get the ball rolling, and then you start following it. The creative process is magical. Okay, so I've written up here, so you've collaged whites onto a Bristol card, wait about 15-20 minutes, sand with sandpaper, add a wash of color, sponge down, and now add a few pieces of painted papers. And then sit and look through magazines with your piece in front of you and look for something that invites itself in. It's almost like a magnetic, you can almost just recognize something that looks like it belongs in your piece.
I've been collaging for probably 25 years, and somehow I discovered this place in Alexandra and just loved her techniques because she was able to have a certain energy about her and bring things to your blank page that were so wonderful and productive. And I think the initial thing is how she actually gets you warmed up. The paint, instead of feeling like, okay, I'm going to focus and make this beautiful masterpiece, she loosens you up. She just gets you painting. Stop thinking, just do, just produce, just make things, personalize things that will help you later on, and it'll all come together in full circle. I particularly like when she has us paint on papers and then use the papers, then still work into those papers again, pull the papers. There's a lot of addition and subtraction with what she does. So in certain aspects it can be kind of sculptural. So that's part of the reason that I love collage, and it's so tactile. And when she makes stamps, when she rolls, when she prints, there's all those elements there that combine together to make this sort of magnificent piece.
you're giving directional signals to the viewer. I mean, it's an all relationship. You're making something, somebody else is going to view it, okay? And so everything you do is going to influence how that person looks at it. Now, this can also be a way in this way and out that way, okay? So this is this. Now, what it also creates is movement. So composition creates movement. Now, if you have a piece and you just have things right in the middle, shapes kind of in the middle, it's more static. The second you have a feeling of something else, it kind of creates the feeling of things shifting through, shifting on and off, like looking through a microscope and seeing little amoebas moving around. It creates movement to have things moving in and off at the edges. The other thing is that when you have a horizon line, I talked about this yesterday, a horizon line in a landscape just creates automatic, like an anchoring. You have the earth, you have the sky. It's just automatic kind of feeling of, we just get grounded by the earth. You know, it grounds us. The horizon grounds us.